Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here. Let me just adjust the mic. We are here for episode number 10, I believe. Might be wrong. I'm hoping it's episode number 10 because the graphic I've chosen has 10 on it. But we are here. We are the final episode ahead of Living Dangerously, which is 16 days away, but we're going to go through these two shows here. We did do a little bit of business off screen. That being Devon Storm, we've given him a 30-day contract extension. Not too sure whether I'm going to keep him or not. I think post Living Dangerously, I might do an episode where we look at the roster. Like, there's a few jobbers that I've just got no interest in, but it's good to have jobbers. And then we're also just going to look at the market, just see who's out there, what free agents there are, and try and build a roster that's kind of just good to go, if that makes sense. We do also have Satoshi Kojima and Yuji Nagata on the books at the moment. They're not booked in this show. They probably won't see like the light of day for a little while, just because I kind of have to think of a reason to, force them in. We do have a lot of New Japan, All Japan talent that have been released. So there's a lot of talent out there. We need to look at finances, because obviously we are a little bit ropey. We lost a lot of money recently, but that was just because of our production levels. We've adjusted them now, so we are slowly making that money back, and we want to continue that trend. So yeah, we need to be savvy with our spending on workers, especially because, for example, let's just go to our roster. Where is Kojima? Oh no, Nagata could be a good one as well. Let's look at his contract. He's on 8,000 per appearance, which is a lot. Let's compare that to, I don't know, what's Rob Vanam on? 3,000. And Rob Vanam we consider, one of our bigger stars. Let's look at our champion, Shane Douglas. He's on 1,000 per appearance. So, yeah. Nagata, is he really worth that? I mean, he's got really great stats. I mean, that's an old Nagata. If we do use him, we'll need to change that up, because that's not what he looks like at the age of 29. He's got crazy good pop in most places. North America, not too bad. Let's just compare that. Hold on. Yeah, 40, 69. See, I mean, probably not worth it. Kojima as well, really good pop in Asia, but not so much in North America. And again, I think Kojima's on 1,500. That's not as bad. I can work with that. Nagata, though, I think I've just talked myself out of keeping him. So let's just release Nagata now. But yeah, there's a few people here that, we're probably never going to really use. I mean, Aaron O'Grady's probably never going to ever win a match. Let's be honest. The same with Devon Storm. The same with Bobby Duncan Jr. These guys just are never going to win, but they are on cheap money. But if I can bring someone in who's also on cheap money that's interesting to me, then maybe, yeah. But that's for a future episode. One thing that I did realize when I was looking at let's go all promotions, our buddies FMW, their finances, they are dipping. They're not doing very well. I mean, they started up here, they're now down here. So I feel like FMW may go through a similar thing that All Japan and New Japan went through, which makes me think that whoever made this mod really isn't supporting the Japanese product or Japanese companies very well, maybe with TV deals and stuff. But either way, but that works well for us because there's a lot of people here. So, for example, Hayabusa, Tanaka, I mean, even Atsushi Onita might be fun to bring in. Riki Fuji, Shizaki, Mike Awesome, we want to bring him in. Of course, this is Chainsaw Dudley, also known as Super Leather over there. There's a few other people, Jado and Gado, or bring them in, or Jado and Gado. I don't know, his name changes all the time. Mr. Gunosuke, I've seen some awesome matches with him back in the day, so we'll get there in the end. Yeah, a few fun people to bring in here. So if their finances dip the same way that like New Japan's did, finances all the way down there, then we'll surely take advantage of it. It is a little bit sad though that they took Shima from us, because I had plans for him, and they didn't release, the likes of Liger, Ultimo Dragon, because those two I would definitely be on. They took Makabe as well, he was on my short list. Dragon Kid was also on my short list. Surprised they haven't gone for Magnum Tokyo yet. But But yeah, this is a thin roster of not many crazy names. And then if we just look at All Japan as well, they've lost a lot of big talents, but they've still kept like some main ones. You know, Kawada's still there, Kenta Kobashi, Hiroshi Hase, Johnny Smith. Kanemaru's still there, although that's old Kanemaru. 21-year-old Kanemaru does not look like that. But yeah, they've got a bare bones roster. They've got, what, like 9 people? Wow. Yeah. Anyways, that's enough about them. But let's look at us. We're thriving. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, and then we've got a healthy roster. Anyways, let's dive straight into the first show. We've got these 2 shows. We're building to Living Dangerously. And at the end of this show, of course, we will confirm the final matches for that pay-per-view. So yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's dive straight into the first Hardcore TV. Okay, and here we are for the first show of this episode. And again, before we dive into it, let's look at that question of the week. And the question of the week today is a simple one, which hopefully will get a lot of interesting answers. First one being, well, not the only one being, let's be honest, it's one question a week. What is your favourite wrestling mask? Now, that can be anything that covers the face. You know, so for example, you know, Mankind's is a mask, even though it doesn't cover the whole head. Kane's mask counts as well, obviously. You know, Rey Mysterio, they're the obvious ones. But what's your favourite? I've got a couple. Going way back to, like, you know, the first proper mainstream luchador, El Santo. I think that's a clean mask, just a clean silver mask. That's classic. When I was away at Barcelona recently, the tattoo shop that I went to had 2 action figures, and it was El Santo and Blue Demon Jr. And it was just so cool. And since then, I've kind of just been like looking up El Santo stuff, because, you know, he's done like loads of films and stuff. Anyways, super clean. Like he's what I pick when someone says luchador wrestler. I think of him like Lucha Libre, El Santo. I'm also a big fan of the classic, you know, Attitude Era Kane, like the red and black mask. That one was cool. The one that like covered his mouth a little bit. I thought that was really cool. And I also really like looking at modern times. There we go, classic. Few like last decade or so, and then more modern. We've got El Desperado in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think his whole look is cool, and I'm glad that he's like slowly kind of getting pushed up the card a little bit, or he's getting a little bit more recognition. I know that he's doing a lot of work with the Young Lions now, so that probably helps in terms of, you know, positive booking. But yeah, pretty much it. Yeah, those 3. We'll go with those. So El Santo, classic Kane, and El Desperado. What are yours? Let me know in the comments section. But either way, let's dive straight into ECW Hardcore TV, and we kick off the show with an announcement. And it's Joey Styles on commentary confirming a match that has been confirmed at Living Dangerously. So Joey Styles says, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of ECW Hardcore TV. We're just a couple of weeks away now from the highly anticipated Living Dangerously pay-per-view, and the stakes are getting higher each week in ECW. Last week, we witnessed a chaotic scene unfold backstage between 2 of ECW's most popular factions, the BWO and the FBI. They clashed in a brawl that spilled all over the arena. Chairs were flying, bodies were crashing, and the war between these 2 reached a fever pitch. The footage from previous week's brawl and match plays on the screen as Styles continues to speak. And now news coming from ECW offices Paul Heyman. In response to that chaos that we witnessed last week, he has officially signed a match for Living Dangerously, where it will be a chairs match between all 3 members of the Blue World Order and all 3 members of the Full-Blooded Italians. That's right, folks. At Living Dangerously, Stevie Richards, the Blue Meanie, and Nova of the BWO will step into the ring against Guido, Tracy Smothers, and Tommy Rich, and they will do battle where steel chairs are the only legal weapon, and they're encouraged. It's going to be extreme, it's going to be brutal, and it's going to go down at Living Dangerously. So stay tuned as we bring you more action on tonight's episode of Hardcore TV. So there you have it, a match announcement for Living Dangerously. It will be the BWO taking on the FBI. Tracy Smothers just popping in there. And it will be a chairs match where chairs are the only legal weapon and they are encouraged. Following on from this, before we get any in-ring action, we've got a little promo backstage with the newest faction, and more specifically, the faction leader, Just Incredible. And Just Incredible is backstage. The camera cuts where he's standing flanked by his new faction known as Enigma. Credible is smirking at the camera when he says, "Look at me, standing here with the future of ECW by my side. That's right, folks, I've leveled up with some new blood." But Jerry Lynn, my man, you've been parading around with that ECW TV title like it's your birthright. But let me tell you something, Lynn. That title belongs to me. And with these boys here, gesturing, to Enigma, I've even more muscle to back up my words. You see, Lynn, we're not here to play games. We're here to dominate. And that TV title is just the beginning. Sooner or later, when we go one-on-one, that ECW TV Championship is going to be round my waist. So, Lynn, consider this a warning. No. Consider this a warning to all of ECW. Enigma is coming for you. And when we do, there'll be no escape. So prepare yourself. As Just Incredible walks off camera, heading to the ring for his upcoming match. So yeah, nice little promo here. Just Incredible clearly still has eyes for that TV title. I accidentally wrote world title halfway through that promo and got really confused. So yeah, Jerry Lynn is now on notice. And of course, Just Incredible was backed up by Chastity Jason, Jeff Hardy, and Matt Hardy now. So yeah, I wouldn't want to go against him. But unfortunately, someone has to. And in this next match, it is Just Incredible taking on Mikey Whipwreck. Mikey, who got rejected by John Cronus recently in the last episode when attempting to become the new Eliminator. Also, takes an L here as well when Just Incredible gets the win. There's actually no outside interference in this one. It is just the intimidating presence of the remaining members of Enigma that's enough to put Mikey Whipwreck off and secure Just Incredible with the win. A 72 reaction from the crowd, a 68 match quality with a 60 average overall. Not bad. I will take it. Incredible jumps up a few, Whipwreck goes down a few. That's fine. Following on from this, though, we've got another singles bout, and it is between Nova of the Blue World Order taking on Phil Le Fon. And in a okay match, I mean, nothing crazy. Supernova gets the win. Just a simple one-on-one, a very short 9-minute match. 67 from the crowd, a 61 match quality, a 1.5 star for this one, so clearly not very good. Phil Le Fon doesn't really produce great numbers, I've noticed. Supernova, I'm still not sure on. We've had to push him recently because he requested it, but yeah, not too sure. 54% overall. That's lower than our cap, so hopefully the rest of the show is really good and we can kind of push on with that. But following on from this, though, the FBI come out and surround the ring. So after a heated match, Nova stands victorious in the center of the ring, celebrating his win with the crowd, when suddenly the arena darkens as the entrance theme of the full-blooded Italians blares through the speakers. The FBO trio of Guido, Tracy Smothers and Tommy Rich emerge from the entranceway, each wielding a steel chair with intent. The crowd boos intensely as the FBI surround the ring, glaring at Nova, who readies himself for a potential onslaught. But just as the FBI begin to close in, the arena erupts with blue and white strobe lights, and it is the rest of the Blue World Order, Stevie Richards and the Blue Meanie, charging down the ramp, armed with steel chairs of their own. The Blue World Order swing their chairs crazily as they form a protective barrier around Nova, wildly swinging the chairs, chasing FBI around the outside of the ring. Both factions are now opposite each other, exchanging intense stares when the FBI reluctantly back away, retreating back up the ramp as BWO members stand tall in the ring. So, a very, very, very short glimpse of what we could see at Living Dangerously. All 6 men wielding chairs ready to do battle. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a good one, but we are going to have to wait until Living Dangerously to see any kind of action. between these factions. 62 overall, not too bad. Of course, Stevie Richards getting involved makes the segment a little bit better. Unfortunately, FBI, no matter how much I love them, they don't really produce the numbers. But we do go backstage now as Rob Vanam and Sabu continue to disagree. The backstage area of the ECW arena is busy tonight. We've got the cameras catching up with Bill Alfonso and his clients, Rob Vanam and Sabu, who are engaged in a heated conversation. Sabu has a stern expression and turns to Rob Vanam to say, Rob, last week you pushed some buttons. You need to learn some respect. Rob Vanam looks him up and down and scoffs and says, respect? I do what I want, Sabu. You're not the boss of me. You're my tag team partner. Therefore, my equal. So don't you be telling me what to do. Sabu then claps back and says, fine, maybe I can't teach you respect, but maybe I'll find someone that will. So at Living Dangerously, you better show up, because I will have a match arranged for you. Someone who can maybe beat some respect into you. Bill Alfonso then interjects as the men come to butt heads, trying to calm the situation. He goes, hey guys, cool it down. We're family, damn it. But RVD is still smirking, locking eyes with Sabu, and says, let him bring it on, Fonzie. I'll show Sabu, whoever he picks, what the whole damn show is about. Alfonso sighs, shaking his head as the camera fades out, leaving the tension between RVD and Sabu lingering as we go to a commercial break. So yeah, there's tension between, I mean, they're not breaking up, you know, they're still a tag team. They still think that they work best, you know, as a team and not rivals, if that makes sense. But obviously RVD needs to learn a little bit more respect. Sabu trying to teach that to him. So we're going to have to wait and see who Sabu decides to step in the ring with Rob Vanam to teach him a little bit about respect. So yeah, we'll have to watch this space and see who Sabu calls upon. Will it be an ex-ECW member? Will it be a current ECW member? Could it be someone from FMW? Or will it be someone from outside of that? Who knows? We will have to wait and see. But we are back from the commercial break now, and Sandman is here. Let's head straight to that segment. The camera cuts to the ring where Sandman is already in the ring. He's done his entrance. And he is holding his Singapore cane up in the air with a beer in hand, swigging it down. The crowd are erupting in cheers as Sandman is here. We all love a bit of Sandman. Grabbing a microphone, he speaks and says, hey, how we doing tonight? As he takes another little sip of his beer. The crowd roars in response by chanting, ECW, ECW, ECW. Sandman then calls the crowd down a little bit and continues and says, now listen up, folks. I'm going to cut to the chase. If old Taz isn't around right now, you know, licking his wounds, feeling sorry for himself, and Lance Storm is busy with that tag title match, maybe it's time that the Sandman steps up and challenges for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship at Living Dangerously. The crowd then rise to their feet in agreement, chanting a mixture of ECW and Sandman. So suddenly, the lights dim, and the crowd's cheers turn to a mixed reaction as it's Bam Bam Bigelow's music hits. The Beast from the East steps out onto the stage, glaring at the Sandman in the ring. He says, hold up, Sandman. You think that you're worthy of a shot at the ECW Championship? Come on, man. You're all talk and no action. You've been wasting your time these past few weeks with bottom of the barrel wrestlers and haven't been in the ring with someone on my level. The Sandman smirks, takes a little swig of his beer before responding and says, oh, I don't know about that, Bam Bam. Maybe it's time I did step up then and show you what the Sandman is made of. Right here, right now, tonight. The crowd then erupt in more cheers as Bam Bam responds and says, you're on, Sandman, but this one is going to be no disqualifications, no countouts, just you and me. Sandman nods, setting down his beer and raising his cane to the crowd as Bam Bam continues down the ramp and into the ring, for our main event. So Sandman claims that he should be maybe having his ECW World Heavyweight Championship match at Living Dangerously, but Bam Bam, you know, kind of representing the triple threat, Shane Douglas's triple threat, says, nah, you haven't proven yourself, mate. Maybe if you can get through me, things might happen. So that is our main event tonight. It is Bam Bam Bigalow taking on the Sandman, and as Bam Bam said, a no disqualification match. And in an okay match, in terms of the final score, it is the Sandman that gets the win. A huge win for Sandman, because Bam Bam Bigalow is no one to, shake a stick out, or should we say, shake a Singapore cane out. But yeah, really, really good match here. The intimidating presence of Bam Bam adds to the match. A 97 from the crowd. They absolutely loved it. There was a lot of brawling on the outside, so they were well involved in this. Pretty low match quality because there's no DQ. It's Sandman. He's not the most technical of guys. But overall, a 68, which isn't terrible. I'll happily take that. So Sandman gets the win over Bam Bam Bigalow. What does this mean? Does this mean he's got his ECW World Title match? Sorry, not his World Title. We will have to wait and see until the next show, which will be coming in the next, couple of minutes? But yeah, let's end this one and see how we did. So we would have got a 64, which is above our cap, so that is good to see. A few lower ratings in this one, but that's absolutely fine. And another reason why I think we do need to assess the roster. But yeah, just quickly going through. We've got the chairs match confirmed at Living Dangerously. We've also got Just Incredible potentially challenging for the TV title. We'll have to see if Jerry Lynn responds. RVD has got a mystery match against someone of Sabu's choosing. And of course, it looks like the Sandman is gunning for an ECW World Championship match against Shane Douglas. And we will have to see what happens in the next one. But that will happen in the next couple of minutes. Let's just return to the see if we've got any news at all. So we made 66,000. So we had quite a low attendance for this one. Not usually, or usually we reach our cap. So that's not the best. We've already got this book. So let's just skip along the next few days. See if anything pops up at all. Any news at all. Who's that? Mike Polchalopek? Nope. We're mostly just looking down here, seeing what happens in terms of some people's finances. Ringo Mendoza off to CMLL. Still no mail. Our finances are creeping up a little bit, which is lovely to see. So Takeshi Morishima has entered the world of wrestling. I do not know who that is. One or two every other day. So we've got the weekly war reports here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but we always win the cool factor, and then we lose everything else. So yeah, of course we are. These two companies are much higher than us, but our cool factor wins every time. Let's keep going, and we're here on Tuesday. Look how quick that was. Love that. Tinier Blast Jr. Has signed exclusively for CMLL, so that's cool to see. But yeah, let me just take a pause here where we will jump into the next event and we will have our Living Dangerously card finalized. I'll see you guys in a sec. And we are back for the final ECW Hardcore TV episode of the month, heading straight into Living Dangerously. I don't make notes for this one like I do with my TW series. I kind of just rely on the writing on the left that you guys can't see because I've hidden it. So when it comes to confirming pay-per-views, I'm like, oh, what matches have I already booked? But we'll get there. We'll wing it. We open this show with the world champion, Shane Douglas. Him and Triple Threat make their way down to the ring, microphone in hand. Shane says, welcome all to another night of ECW. Now, let's talk business. Last week, I had a good old chuckle when I heard that the Sandman is apparently itching for a shot of this right here. Shane Douglas opens his jacket and points to the ECW World Heavyweight Championship that is around his waist. Sandman, my friend, I admire your gusto, but let's face it, you're a barroom brawler. This right here, this is the gold that only a true wrestler like myself can handle. But nevertheless, Sandman, I'll give you credit for trying. I mean, hell, you bested Bam Bam last week, and tonight, I hear that you've gone and issued a challenge to the whole of Triple Threat. Now, you all know that I'm not one to back down from a fight, ever. So, Sandman, tonight, you'll get your chance to prove me wrong. Heyman, I hope you're listening, because I've got no problem accepting this challenge. The camera cuts to Paul Heyman, who's watching on commentary, and just nods to the camera with a sly grin. So Sandman, if you want a piece at the whole of Triple Threat, go ahead and find your partners. But just remember, you're stepping into the ring with a Triple Threat, and nothing, I mean nothing, comes easy in ECW. Douglas and the Triple Threat then raise their arms in some kind of victory as the crowd, erupts as we kick off ECW Hardcore TV. So yeah, nice promo here from Shane Douglas, basically laughing at the fact that the Sandman wants a world title. And in between shows, it looks like the Sandman has requested a match against all of Triple Threat tonight. So the Sandman needs to go ahead and find himself some tag team partners. That will be our main event. It will be the Sandman taking on Triple Threat, whether he finds partners or not. But before then, we've got a couple of really random matches. First up, we've got the Hardy Boys taking on the makeshift team of Axel Rotten and Devon Storm. Of course, Balls Mahoney is out injured. Still want to use Axel as much as possible. And, we've got Devon Storm for now. Whether we keep him or not, we'll see. But yeah, really good match here. The Hardy Boys seem to be killing it right now. I think, they're a little secret weapon we've got. Just look at all of these bonuses we get. Of course, ignore Axel Rotten here, although, he also gets a bonus. But all of the Hardys just knocking it out of the park. +4 for them. I'm glad that these guys didn't lose any popularity. But Jeff gets the win in this one. Twist of Fate, Swanton, the usual, as Devon Storm eats the pin. And 86 from the crowd. They're really enjoying the Hardy Boys, who have got this very kind of explosive, serious demeanor. They both ooze charisma, like the Hardys. It's the late 90s. 3-star match quality and a 68 overall. I will take it. Also a relatively short match, so very balls to the wall kind of action. 7-minute match, in, out, shake it all about, And we head backstage now as Jerry Lynn has got a message for Justin Credible and, I guess, the rest of Enigma. So Jerry Lynn stands backstage holding his ECW World TV Championship over his shoulder, looking down the lens of the camera intently. He says, "Last month, I retained this beauty right here against the odds, but there's someone out there who seems to think that they're entitled to a shot. Justin Credible, I'm talking about you, buddy. You've been running your mouth claiming that you deserve a shot at this title. Hey, no, you're going to take this title from me. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you want it so bad, come and get it. But come and get it alone. As you said last week, 1-on-1. No interference, no cronies, just you and me in the ring. And then you can prove to all of us just how incredible you really are. The ball's in your court, Justin. If you've got the guts, step up and prove yourself. Because in ECW, we settle things like men, 1-on-1. Hopefully, I'll see you at Living Dangerously." Jerry Lynn then walks out of frame. So it looks like Jerry Lynn has called a shot at Justin Credible. Justin Credible wants that TV title. Jerry Lynn is giving it to him at Living Dangerously. I assume Credible's going to accept. It will be 1-on-1, Jerry Lynn versus Justin Credible. But the real question is, will Justin Credible come alone? Lynn has requested it. Credible said 1-on-1 last week. We will have to wait and see. But that match is confirmed. Joey Styles is putting it over on commentary. TV title match, Jerry Lynn versus Justin Credible. Really nice segment here, 61. I will take it. We do stay backstage here where we've got a pre-recorded interview from earlier in the night, and it is between Joey Styles and John Cronus. Joey Styles is standing backstage with a microphone in hand, ready to interview John Cronus. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with John Cronus, formerly of the Eliminators. John, you mentioned recently that you were searching for a new tag team partner. How's it going?" Cronus then grabs the mic and says, "Joey, let me tell you, it's been a real challenge. Perry and I, we had a chemistry that's hard to replace. Finding someone who can match that intensity, skill level, chemistry, it's just not easy. I've been scouting all over, talking to guys in the locker room, even reaching out to some new faces that don't belong or aren't in ECW right now. But I just haven't found the right fit yet." Styles then responds, "But what's next for you then? Are you going to continue to search?" Cronus says, "Oh, absolutely, Joey. Of course I am. I am not done yet. I will keep pushing forward and keep looking for that perfect partner who can step up and bring it just like Perry did. So just keep watching, ECW. The Eliminators will rise again. And when we do, I guarantee you we will be stronger than ever." John Cronus nods confidently at Joey Styles as the camera fades out and we return to live action. So yeah, John Cronus's hunt continues. Still hasn't found anyone. Mikey Whipwreck wasn't good enough. Doesn't seem like anyone in the locker room is good enough, so we will have to wait and see what happens and who he eventually picks, if he ever picks anyone. But we do actually stay backstage here as Tommy Dreamer approaches the Sandman backstage. He's having a cheeky little cigarette. So Tommy Dreamer approaches Sandman and says, "Sandman, I got some news for you. We saw what Shane said, and we want you to know that Rhino and I have got your back. Hell, we'll team up with you tonight and we'll take on the triple threat together because Rhino and I, we don't like those guys, but we like you." Sandman then puts out his cigarette, stands up tall and says, "Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about." Dreamer and Sandman share a fist bump as we fade out to commercial. The main event is now set. It will be the Sandman, Dreamer and Rhino taking on Triple Threat in what I hope is going to be a great match. A good little 72 here. I will take that. We now head back to the ring for another really random match, because why not? It is Bubba Ray Dudley in singles action against Erin O'Grady. And, I mean, the crowd loved this one. A 100% from the crowd. 3-star match quality and a 77 overall. Bubba Ray gets the win in very convincing fashion in a nice little 7-minute match. Bubba Ray, of course, has kind of been watching his back because of the ominous and chaotic Chainsaw Dudley, who recently debuted in ECW with Spike. Because Bubba Ray and Devon, they were the big bads, but now a bigger bad has appeared in the form of Chainsaw Dudley. But there's no Chainsaw Dudley here. Bubba Ray has a nice clean match, gets a big win over Erin O'Grady. Devon is ringside to celebrate with him. But post-match, Paul Heyman has an announcement. Post-Dudley match, Heyman stands up from commentary as he has an announcement. He takes a deep breath and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make regarding an unexpected challenge that has been brought to my attention tonight. Bubba Ray, it seems that Chainsaw Dudley has requested a match against you, and only you, at Living Dangerously." Bubba Ray's in the ring, out of breath from the match he's just had, it exploding in shock and anger. "Now, Bubba," Paul continues, "I understand this might not be what you're expecting or wanting, but I have no choice but to accept it. Chainsaw was, quite frankly, very convincing, and I'm not saying no to that guy." Bubba Ray paces angrily in the ring, glaring at Heyman over this decision. Heyman continues, "As much as it pains me to say it, Bubba, the match is official and will be happening at Living Dangerously." Devon then climbs into the ring to console his brother, Bubba Ray, as the crowd begin to chant, "You're dead meat, you're dead meat," to Bubba Ray, as he's visibly distraught at the news that he will have to go one-on-one with Chainsaw Dudley. And that's another match confirmed for Living Dangerously, and a 96. I mean, it's Paul Heyman talking. Let's just have Paul Heyman talk every day. I mean, yeah, everyone gets a boost. Even Spike, who's technically not mentioned at all, but he gets a boost in popularity. Following on from this, though, as Bubba Ray, meekly makes his way out back, Joey Styles confirms what our FMW match is going to be, and it will be a singles bout between Hideki Hosaka and Jinsei Shinzaki. And the reason for this is that this has been the hottest rivalry in FMW in the recent weeks. So I took a look on their company page, looked at their storylines. This one had the highest heat, so I figured, why not? Let's continue that. And what I'll do going forward is I will continue to look at their storylines and try to use matches from them to basically help them, I guess. And this time round at Living Dangerously, it will be Hideki Hosaka taking on Jinsei Shinzaki, which should be a really, really good match. Okay, following on from this, though, it is main event time. It is Shane Douglas, Chris Candido, and Bam Bam Bigalow of Triple Threat taking on Tommy Dreamer, Rhino, and the Sandman, with the expectation that if the Sandman wins this match, or his team wins, then he has earned himself a World Championship match at Living Dangerously. So let's get straight into it and see what happens. A 66 overall, we'll take that. This match went on a little bit longer. You can see that obviously Bam Bam and Sandman ran out of breath by the end of the match, which isn't good. It's only a 13-minute match. But the result, you can see it here in plain English. The Sandman wins. An 88 from the crowd, a 2-star match rating, but a 66 overall. Fair enough, we'll take it. Huge jump in popularity for these three guys as Bigelow and Douglas drop, but Candido manages to, save face. It does annoy me that people struggle for breath so quickly. I mean, 13-minute match isn't that long. It's also a 6-man tag, so I imagine there's not really any algorithm in the background of the game that recognises it's a 6-man tag, which means they're not going to be in the ring for the full 30 minutes. Something that TW does do well. You put someone with low stamina in a 6-man tag, they can typically go longer without getting gassed. But either way, that's my feedback said out loud. Let's move on. But Sandman does get the win as Joey Styles on commentary says, "Ladies and gentlemen, what a match we have just witnessed. The Sandman has triumphed over the triple threat, and now, due to this impressive back-to-back victory, I can now confirm that the Sandman has earned himself a title shot against Shane Douglas at Living Dangerously." The crowd roar with excitement as the Sandman raises his arms in celebration, but suddenly Joey Styles' expression and tone of voice changes as he receives urgent information through his headset. Wait a minute, wait a goddamn minute, folks. I'm being told. Yes, Taz is here. Taz's theme hits and he makes his way to the ring looking intense and focused. Taz is handed a mic by, one of the workers and speaks from the edge of the ring. "Now hold on a damn minute. Sandman, no, this ain't happening. Shane Douglas, I'm taking my title shot right now, and I'm taking that strap from you." The crowd is in a frenzy as Sandman and Taz chants fight for superiority. Heyman emerges from this chaos, from the commentary booth, just to try and settle the crowd, settle the wrestlers, and make an off-the-cuff fly decision. He goes, "Now wait a minute, gentlemen, I've got an idea. Taz, first of all, welcome back. Where you been? But let's settle this like men. Real men. ECW men. There will be no fan vote. There will be no bickering. There will be no cheap shots. Instead of arguing, let's settle this as fair as possible at Living Dangerously. Taz versus the Sandman in a #1 contenders match. The winner will go on to face Shane Douglas for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship." Taz and the Sandman exchange intense stares, nodding in agreement. Taz then says, "If it means getting to the ECW title, you're on. I'll see you at Living Dangerously." The Sandman then grabs a mic and says, "Bring it on, Taz. I've got a Singapore cane at home with your name on it." The two men continue their stare down as ECW chants, Sandman chants, Taz chants echo through the arena as we end the show. And there we go. So, Shane Douglas isn't defending his title at Living Dangerously anymore. He's got himself a night off again. Instead, it will be a #1 contenders match between the Sandman and Taz. The winner will face Shane Douglas for his world title. It's guaranteed. It's set in stone. There's no way Shane Douglas can wriggle out of a Taz match should Taz win, because the Sandman has been on one hell of a winning streak as of late. But yeah, let's just slowly scroll through here as I try and remember all the matches that are confirmed. So, 55, would have got a 72, really, really good show. Really surprised by the Bubba Ray Aaron O'Grady match. I mean, Bubba's a G. We love Bubba Ray. Aaron O'Grady might be someone that we're sleeping on a little bit. But either way, let's go back to here. Let's see how we did in the mail. There we go. We maxed out. Max attendance, 70k in tickets. Contract renewal for Arn Anderson. Ooh, Why does it say FMW? He's WCW. Should we see how much good old Arn Anderson is worth? Oh, he's staff. Yeah, not interested. I forgot. HC Lock loses weight. Well done, HC Lock. But let's just try and remember all the matches that we have. So first of all, the first one that was announced, I'm mixing my words up here, was the ECW World Tag Team Championship. It will be the number one contenders, the Pitbulls, taking on Chris Candido and Lance Storm. Chris Candido saying, Lance Storm, step back a little. I need to prove myself to Shane Douglas in the triple threat, especially after the loss we've just seen as well. We've also got Rob Vanam against a mystery opponent, someone of Sabu's choosing. Bubba Ray will face Chainsaw Dudley one-on-one. I imagine he's not looking forward to that at all. We also have the FMW Clash. Let me actually show you it here as well. Let's go all promotions, FMW storylines. There we go, 77. Hideki Hosaka and Jinsei Shinzaki. We also have the number one contendership match between the Sandman and Taz, as we've just seen. And then finally, the TV championship match, Jerry Lynn against Justin Credible. So yeah, that's what, 5 matches? That's a pretty decent card. We'll take it. Main event, of course, is going to be the number one contendership match. Oh no, wait, we've also got the Blue World Order taking on FBI. How can I forget that? In a chairs match. There are no other stipulations as far as I'm aware for any of the matches. If that changes, we will let you know ahead of time at Living Dangerously. But that is it for this one. We can see our finances are jumping up. Hopefully the Living Dangerously show helps kick that up a notch as well. And yeah, that's it. So as always, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see each and every one of you in the next one.